Good morning. Hey, I decided to do a TikTok live today, Saturday, May 18th, 2024, because I realized I gave myself the option to sleep in, and I did. And maybe it's because I'm an early bird that I feel like 8 a.m. is late. Sleeping in late is 8 a.m. But I woke up and I don't know about you, but one of the things I do is I will reach for my phone. Nothing wrong with that because my clock is on it. See what time it is. But I love the idea of laying in bed and scrolling on TikTok. It honestly is a fun thing to do. But after a certain amount, what you do for fun can be like, okay, well, this is fun, but maybe I want to do something else. And here's something I want to offer to you is I thought to myself about 5 minutes ago, six, I said, well, I did say I might possibly do a TikTok live. Now, I didn't make any promises. Notice, I didn't promise myself. I kind of floated around his idea. But then I said, you know what? I do have this hour before I want to walk down the farmer's market, get some flowers, get a cup of tea, go to yoga, take a shower, go to a porch party, play Aunt Mary Pat bingo, go out to dinner. I have a whole day of fun planned. And I said, you know, I could spend this next day. I had a choice. I could spend this next hour in bed, cuddled up, scrolling on TikTok. And again, no big deal. I could do that. Or I said, you know what? Or I could spend that exact same amount of time on TikTok itself. And instead of being on the receiving end of it, I could be on the giving end of it, that I could give. I could show up and use my hour on TikTok to help you. And I thought, you know, that sounds like a little bit more fun. You know, sometimes just letting things, happen. So here I am. Thank you, Cat Mama. Happy anniversary. Yes, it's our wedding anniversary. My husband and I, he's still asleep, but we both, anybody, and remember that from the Flintstones, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy. Oh my God, that's a classic in our house. So yes, we have a happy anniversary planned, but that doesn't mean that I can't take an hour out of my morning to help you and to help me, because honestly, this is just, again, this kind of a two-way street. I wouldn't do these TikTok lives, Beth Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach. I would not do these if I didn't sincerely enjoy them, if I didn't get something out of them. I love kind of getting under the hood and not just talking about the surface of clutter, how it looks. It's kind of like a car. You can like how a car looks, but if it's not working, if it's not getting where you want to go, inevitably you got to pop the hood and see what's underneath, and problem solve and diagnose, and then do something about it if you want to move on. And while I love things looking cool, I mean, you're in one of the rooms of our house right now, and I love how my house looks. I also want it to, under the hood, I want it to function well, and I want it to feel good. And I have gotten pretty good at this over my decades. I'm a Gen Xer. So I am here to give you my Gen X, the decluttering life coaching from a Gen X perspective. So what does that mean? That I probably have lots of random jobs to refer back to, kind of like Wayne Campbell saying he's got a selection of hairnets and name tags. I'm probably gonna pop out into song as I just did, and I like to make things fun, and I also like to kind of I don't know, flip the bird at some of the things that you should do, because should to me is such an arbitrary word. But anyhow, I just wanted to offer that to you. I'm here. And I heard, yes, Wendy Rose is saying May 18th is a special day. I just saw that on TikTok. Today is the day of like asking for cool stuff to happen in your life and whatever. So why don't we use that? I don't know what I believe in. Sometimes I like to believe in a little bit of everything, because why the heck not? Melissa's saying good morning, happy anniversary. You bring so much joy into my life. I'm getting ready for my retail job. Melissa, I'm so thankful that I can help you get ready for, bring joy in your life as you get ready for your retail job. I worked retail for decades. I worked retail for decades because while I did go to college, I graduated a degree that I chose. I chose art history because basically I didn't know what the frick I wanted to do. You know, there's those people that are born knowing what they want to do in life. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a dentist. I want to be a homemaker, whatever. I was like, I don't know. So I knew I was interested in creative things, and I knew, for me, in a way, kind of like my coaching, how I teach like a framework, like a system and a process that you do, is behind everything that I do, that you can use too, is that a lot of what was behind all of the creative things was the history of being creative. So I thought it was good. Kia is saying today is Unclutter Day. Thanks to you. We'll be playing your YouTube vids to keep me going. Kia, I hope this will help you. Thank you. I love that. And I love that my recorded TikTok videos are going to help you go through that. What you may notice when you go to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel is I did some housekeeping. I realized that the one playlist that said TikTok Lives recordings was getting so big, so kind of a bit overwhelming because there were over 200 of them in there, that I chunked it down. I chunked it down in a way that made sense to me, as in playlists by each month. So there's over a year's worth of TikTok Lives there. So it may look a little bit different. Also, I will say this, there's the link there that says like TikTok Live podcasts. I don't know why actually YouTube has that. I don't know what the difference is, frankly, between the podcast thing and the like just a regular playlist. But I thought, well, I don't know, it kind of sounds like a podcast. People ask me if I'm going to make a podcast, and I said, maybe. But I said, you know what, all you need to do is not look at the, don't look at the screen, just hear my voice, and it becomes an instant podcast. But experiment with that stuff. You also may find that the April one is kind of down the bottom, because that's the one I started with. I realized this morning in bed as my brain was solving problems how to fix that. And also the May TikTok Lives are hidden from everybody except for the people on the Destination Decluttered mailing list. But the May ones will become available, like kind of free to the public. I just realized that's probably something I would do when I'm on vacation. No, you know what? I can do that before vacation, because I'm not going to do some TikTok Lives for the next many and days of the thing. See, this is me. This is my brain is solving problems. Good morning, Christine Glendale. Nice to see you. Did you go to, I did not go to Dartmouth. I went to Wendy Rose. I did not go to Dartmouth, or excuse me, UMass Dartmouth. I went to UMass Boston, actually. That's where I got my degree. I started in Framingham, met some awesome people, was in college radio. That was wicked awesome. But then I finished out my degree at UMass Boston while working at Pier 1 Imports. That's me. I'm just a regular old person just getting through life. Okay. I love this. The other fun thing. Okay. Okay. You know what? Melissa's got some plans to either shift listing things in eBay after your long shift or clean my desk area. And here's what I want to offer to you, Melissa. Take care of yourself when you get home. After your long shift, and notice we talk about a shift. Everybody, learn how to shift gears. Help yourself shift gears and do something in the middle there to get yourself kind of enjoying your life and transitioning, and then get into something. Don't always kind of go from one thing to another. I think a lot of times, and especially my folks with ADHD, think, I'm afraid of stopping now because if I stop, I'm afraid that I can't start up again. So you wait for that dopamine rush of inspiration, and you're like, up, I got to keep going because you're afraid to stop. Now, sometimes I say, kind of like the creative flow, you don't necessarily want to disrupt a creative flow, but also don't just wait for that. If you're only waiting, and this is true, I think Wendy Rose is an artist and she will attest, and all of the books about real true creativity isn't just about striking while the iron is hot, is finding ways to make the iron hot so you can strike it. You may not be motivated every single day, but how can you motivate yourself? How can you rev up your engine, get your engine started, get your motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. My God, I sound like Elvis doing that. Okay, the podcast shows all the videos, more than 100, otherwise see only about 10. Now, Cat Mama, just yesterday or the day before, I will say this, and for anybody who's just kind of new to the channel, just really quickly, my TikTok Live recordings, like a recording of these hour-long lives, I download them from TikTok, and then I upload them to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. There's a channel there. Now, just the other day, I organized them into, I created some new playlists, so you may see more. You hopefully will see some. I have one that's like literally TikTok recordings from 2022, and then the months of 2023 and the months of 2024. So, played for some reason. Interesting. Okay, somebody's saying it won't load for some reason. You know what? I don't know what you're looking at, Gypsy19582. You might want to go to on after I do my TikTok live, go to the front page of my TikTok page. There's destinationdecluttered.com, my website, destinationdecluttered.com/links. Even if you type that, it's pretty easy to type. There's a page that has links to all sorts of things, including the YouTube channel. Okay, but enough about me and enough about kind of housekeeping things of that nature. What I am really here to help you with is clutter. And here's the thing, it's not just clutter in your house, because the clutter in your house usually has to do with kind of clutter in your head, clutter in your heart, stuff, the way you're thinking, the way you're getting stuff done, the way you're not getting stuff done, the feelings, feelings that are behind why you keep your stuff. And I know all about stuff. I am really good. I worked in home goods retail. I grew up in a cluttered home with collectors who we focused a lot on stuff. I'm looking around right this room today at my own collections, at our own collections. And I know how much fun having stuff that you love can bring. Walking around my house, instead of it being boring and minimalist, and like there's one droopy flower in a vase, and there's one, wicker chair, I like looking around my house and seeing things that make me smile, that tell me good stories. So I totally would never convince you that stuff in your house is wrong, that you shouldn't keep that, like whatever. To me, I want to empower you to say, make choices for yourself. Now, this is kind of fun because Danielle is saying, I love the colors, so happy and exciting. Me too. Love, exciting, and new. I get morning voice, so I can do my low Jack Jones, my Brenda Vaccaro, my Lauren Bacall. I purposely, but my husband trusted me on this. I joke that he's the ears in the relationship because he's a musician. He's the ears and kind of musical voice, and I'm the eyes of the relationship because I am very particular about what I like. A particular shade of orange, a particular shade of aqua, a deeper shade of soul. So I particularly chose these colors because I walk around and regardless of, like, it's not a sunny day right now, but the colors in this house make me happy even when we don't have sunshine on a cloudy day. This is like my sunshine on a cloudy day, okay? And so I want to encourage you, give you the courage, share with you how to have you practice being courageous to create the life you want. How it looks in your home, how it feels in your heart, how it sounds in your head, okay? And it has taken me, I don't want to say too long to do it, because I like the alignment of me figuring this stuff out. If I could have learned it sooner, sure. My cool life would have just started a decade or two earlier. I didn't, but I can't beat myself up about it. We can't change the past, but we can say to ourselves about the past, I was doing the best I could with what I had. Now I have other stuff and I can do different. And I want what I teach you and I share with you and I coach you if you want to be my client. And even just here on the TikTok is the TikTok, because I'm like 90 years old. The TikTok, the Acme. I want you to have the tools to live a life you love sooner than I did. I kind of forged a path that got me there, but I took some wrong turns, I got delayed, took some detours, drove slow, didn't drive at all. I got to where I am, and I'm still kind of not even there yet. I am there yet. I am. So I just like to maintain what I have. Like if somebody said to me, what's your dream life? And I said pretty much not more, but I want to maintain and slightly increase all of the cool things I'm doing now. And I want that for you too. Why? Because I want more people in life having the power to say, this is something I want to happen in my life and in the world, and know how to get it, not be afraid of it. I was a scaredy cat for the first 30 years of my life. I don't want that for the rest of my life, and I slowly changed it by starting to do the things I was afraid of, and when it worked out, it was like, oh, more of this, please. Yeah, exactly. Wendy Rose is saying, let me ask the Google. Yeah, the Google, the Acme, all that. Aw, I love this. So Christine is one of my clients, and she just wrote, you have taught me so much more than just decluttering. And I love this. I hear my voice. Now, that is so cool. And Christina, I just freaking love working with you. But I also know that there, sooner rather than later, there will be a time that we won't work together, because I love all my clients. I just really enjoy working with people. And one of the things I realize is kind of like a mama bird. I want to teach you some skills and have you practice flying and practice doing these things while I'm there so I can help you do it kind of better and easier. But I also want you to develop your own strength. Now, when I talk about, if I were in my office, you'd see me pointing to a thing that shows like that idea of being on a road trip. You're in the car and you're driving. You've got two voices in your head. You've got the backseat driver saying, no, don't do that. Don't change. It's too late. You're too old. You're too fat. You're too wrinkly. You don't have enough money. Nobody loves you. You know, that's your backseat driver. Strangely enough, they're trying to keep you safe, but I won't get into that now. What I want to say, though, is you also have another voice in your head and in your heart, really, is your co-pilot voice. This is the voice that you don't hear a lot when the backseat driver is going chatting like that little kid in a car seat. No, 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 don't do that. I don't want to go there. No, 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 no. Shh. When you quiet down that voice, then your co-pilot. I'm like your co-pilot. So here I am. You're in the driver's seat, and I'm like, oh my God, finally, huh? Those little kids, they just talk forever, don't they, huh? But we can't get rid of them. So we'll just quiet them down. And let me ask you this. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do with your life? What do you want this room to look like? Now, if I coach with you and you listen to me on these TikToks, because I do these TikToks a wicked lot, is you may hear your voice temporarily doing its imitation of me. It's imitating what I'm saying. It's imitating how I'm talking to you. I talk to you with encouragement, with 100% love and possibility and opportunity and excitement and curiosity and non-judgment and just like a freaking, this is so exciting, because I know when you start to think like this, you will be so excited about it too, but you may be fearful. So I am patient. Love is kind. Love is patient. Love is wicked awesome. All that kind of stuff. That is the voice I show up in, both for you and myself. Now, do I have backseat drivers? Of course I do. I'm a human. You know, Beth, it's not going to work. Nobody's going to show up on a Saturday morning. You know, you don't even have makeup on. Oh my God, and you're old. All that kind of stuff. But I'm like, shh, hush. Look at the awesome life I've created, despite being a left-handed, short-haired, glasses-wearing person, you know, woman on the planet. All right? So shh, hush. You guys, I get it, but no. And so your voice might imitate mine. Like when my husband started playing guitar, he was trying to imitate, I don't know, Eddie Van Halen or Johnny Marr. Actually, he probably wasn't Johnny Marr. That was more my thing. But after you do that and you practice, you find your own voice. You hear these things in your own voice, and you have that skill for the rest of your life. You have that skill for the rest of your life. You have that skill for the rest of your life. And that's the thing that made me so excited about trying to do some coaching, because it wasn't just, oh, here, I can make your house look pretty for you, pay me money, yada, yada. No, getting under the hood, making the change where it happens, not popping the trunk. I guess if you're in a Volkswagen, you'd be there, but popping the hood, seeing what's going on underneath. Oh, there's a disconnect. Oh, you don't have energy there. Oh, you know what? These wires are crossed. Let's uncross those wires and connect them where they should be. Okay, now rev it. Okay, sounds good. Why don't you go practice driving, thinking about that way, and see what it's like next week. Oh, did that work? Cool, we fixed it. If not, let's pop the hood again. With curiosity, not judgment. Okay? So I love that you are finding your voice and hearing your voice. But you guys, this is the thing. Your voice is always there. But if your backseat drivers are talking over it the whole time, it's just going to be quiet until they quiet down. Or it's always there, but maybe it just stops trying because maybe you've always said no to it. So it's like, all right, well, why bother offering? Why bother dreaming if every time I say this thing, the answer is no? I'll just stop. It's always with you, though. It just needs to be, I don't want to say, what is it, woken up and not convinced and not assured, but made aware that the coast is clear. The coast is clear. It's safe out here. You can give some ideas. You can dream a little dream. You can dream a big dream. You can dream of marrying a rock star and living in a cool-looking house where all the stuff is funky that you found in thrift stores, that it's a bit like Pee-wee's Playhouse and it's a bit like the Monkees beach house on that TV show, The Monkees, and he's gonna, and you're gonna live in a cool place, and you're gonna have awesome friends, and you're gonna have wacky adventures, and you're gonna travel the world. That's me. I had those dreams. Now I'm living it. You have your dreams. I want to help you live your dreams too. Okay? Now, fulfillment and joy. Love it, Angela. Barbara is saying, I pre-washed, got started early today, knowing I could shadow this live when I needed a second wind. I love it. Yes, here I am for you. Strong Soul, excuse me, I always get my alliterations. Strong Silver Soul Sister says, I like all the discovery / exploration of it all. I've become more inquisitive about the why of my stuff. Yes, and that is so fascinating to me. When I say why and you say I don't know, that's okay, because I know the I don't know can often be like a stopgap because you may have never thought about it. So you say, well, I don't know, you get that out of the way, and it's like, okay, well, what if I did know? Why do I have these, these coasters, this coaster set? You know why? Because I saw them and I thought, what a clever idea. They look like it's like a little thing, and they look like little records. #1 on the hit parade. This one says vodka and brandy and bourbon on it. Because they're fun and funky. And I have a fun and funky house. All right? Yay. Good stuff, people. Yeah. Sunshine on a Cloudy Day. I think that's My Girl by the Four Tops or something. You know what? I'd have to use the Shazam for that, Oh, funny. So Randy Rose is saying, watch it. I'll show you, backseat driver, why I oughta. We joke that a lot here. Here's the thing I wanna offer is I think of, and maybe this will help you. Farm Girl says, I'm a short-haired, wrinkled old lady. I agree totally with you. Temptations, thank you. The Temps. The Temps. I remember a musician friend called them the Temps. You know what I mean? Like the shorthand for that. And I was like, oh, like temporary office workers. Too funny. And yes, trust that voice, but here's something I want to offer to everybody, this concept, okay? Because I've been thinking about this a lot. I do have notes and notes and notes, a box full of notes of when I thought my very first step was going to be writing a book. And then I was like, well, I want to coach people. This is so much easier. It's going to take me years to get a book published. I can show up on the TikTok and help people right away. More immediate. I'm like a little bit in that, what is that? Like immediate gratification. Here's a way I would love to think of it. I want you to just indulge me for a moment while I expand upon the idea of the backseat drivers. And who knows, maybe this is more of like a podcast episode type thing. Knowing that you have your backseat drivers in your head. Your backseat drivers are there actually for a reason. Now, your backseat drivers, strangely enough, even though on the surface it seems like they are there to hinder your life, they are telling you no and don't do it, and you might want to watch out for that and whatever. They are scared. They are based in fear, but the fear is there for a quasi good reason, to keep you safe. Because if you did everything without fear, you might run in front of a car and get hit by it. You might get eaten by a bear. We like the bears better than the men. A saber-toothed tiger. So we as humans have that fear legit in us. What happens, though, is that we may also be conditioned by fear. I grew up raised by quite a bit of fear in my life. So then I became fearful of everything. But the fear is trying to keep you safe. Don't change anything. Change could be scary. Change could introduce something else, and that could harm you. Rarely do our backseat drivers think of how the change can benefit you. That's your co-pilot. What if we do this and it goes that way? We're doomed. No, what if we do this and it works out? What if we do it and it fails? We're going to look like a fool. We're going to be, people, they're all going to laugh at me. What if you do it and it goes like you want it to? Ooh, that would be kind of fun. But they're kind of a yin yang. They belong together. So I say this to remind yourself that couple things. Your backseat driver voices that say, I don't know, you might want to do that. They're the ones that are telling you to either not get started driving, or when you're driving, go really slowly, or pull your foot up off the gas so you're kind of slowing your roll, or put on the foot. Actually, it's the same foot, 2 pedals, or else you're driving with your foot on that notion of driving with your 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake. That can be a lot of when you're like co-pilot, backseat driver, co-pilot, backseat driver. Can be a little bit herky-jerky. But what I want to offer to you is think about your backseat drivers. They will be with you for the rest of your life. And I totally admit that along the same time as I was developing this kind of concept, I read a similar way about this in the book Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. And I'm smiling because my brain is always wanting to say, again, Gen X, my brain is always wanting to say Melissa Gilbert, you know, from like Little House on the Prairie. No, Elizabeth Gilbert, not Melissa Gilbert. She has a book called Big Magic. It's really interesting. And she talked about this idea of being in a car with people. Mine is a little bit of a riff because I like to think of your backseat drivers as scared little kids in car seats in the back. Don't do that, I'm afraid. They can't reach over and steer for you or but boy, can they say things to influence you. But they're just trying to keep you stuck and safe. Because you ever hear that phrase, maybe we only heard it in my house, the devil you do know is better than the devil you don't know. So you will stay with crappy stuff because it's familiar. Your stuff around you is safe and familiar. If you change it, you're also letting yourself know that you may be able to change other things in your life. And that can be a scary thing. Oh, crap, well, if I change this, I might realize that I can change some other things, and that could be scary because I'm living in a, comfort zone. But just notice that you can't get rid of those voices, but you can get along with them. If you're yelling at them all the time, can you imagine yelling at scared little kids in the back seat? It's not going to make it worse. It's not going to make it better. It's going to make it worse. But you know what you do? Show up like Auntie Beth. Auntie Beth in the front seat, co-pilot. You guys, shh, quiet down. Quiet down. It's cool. It's cool. I know we're not going to McDonald's drive-thru, but trust me. Trust me, I am not taking you anywhere scary. I know, because this is how I was with my nieces and nephews in the back seat. I know you guys are used to just going through the McDonald's drive-thru. I know there's a whole other world outside of that loop of McDonald's drive-thru. I know that there are shiny vintage diners down there. In the New Bedford Fall River area, we got Angelo's Orchid. We used to have the Shawmut. There was, what else? There was the Mattapoisett Diner. There's all sorts of shiny vintage diners. You go in there, it's like stepping back in time. It's like we used to watch this TV show in the 70s called Happy Days. It's kind of like that, only legit. You go in there, you can have breakfast anytime you want. You want chocolate chip pancakes anytime you want? We get out of that loop and we drive somewhere else. You want to go sit at the counter and say, howdy partner, and you want to spin on the spinny seat? You can do that. Real maple syrup? Well, maybe not the ones, down on the South Coast, but I know that there's the one, the Blue Bonnet Diner out in Northampton, Mass, has real maple syrup. And have you ever tasted real maple syrup? No, I don't know what it is. It's so good. You guys, let's do that. Okay, I guess I will trust you that you're not taking me any place that's going to cause me harm, and that's when you can start driving. Not by yelling at them to shut the fuck up, but to say, there's nothing really truly to be afraid of here. That's how you talk to yourself. Like the people in the car. And you're the driver, and suddenly you're driving towards that shiny cool diner, having breakfast, exposing sharing this new cool thing with your nieces and nephews. It's kind of like me. I say, trust me as your co-pilot. I'm not taking you anywhere scary. I am showing you a way to live that's going to open up your world in a way you want it to open up. Not my world. I don't want your life to look like my life. I want your home to look like your home. I want your home to function like you want it to. I want you to feel like you want to in your home. It has nothing to do with where I want to go to. It's all about where you want to go to. Okay? So that's how you talk to your backseat drivers, all right? With love. With love. And yes, always pick the bear, people, sadly. What if I fall, but what if I fly? Yeah, and if, you know what? Here, I always think of, what's his name? Fred Astaire. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again, Are you feeling better today? Asked Mountain Marvel Crafts. Are you feeling better today? Yeah, I was feeling kind of oogie yesterday. We have a carnival down the street from us, a fair, and I ate too much cotton candy. And I did wake up with a tummy full of cotton candy. I will share with you right now. I'm feeling better than I did yesterday morning, but I did finish off that bag of cotton candy because that's just how I am. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm going to throw this cotton candy away because... You know what? I felt better, and then I ate it, and it still tasted good. Right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm leaning over, and I have ripples here that I did not have before COVID and before menopause, but I'm getting used to, even when I'm hunching over, and I can feel them right now. I'm trying to love my ripples. My ripples are probably bigger today. My little tummy is probably a little bit bloaty because I also have a fun weekend. Yesterday, we got together with some friends. I had some snacks. We had some cocktails. We had some snacks. My husband and I walked downtown, got a slice of pizza. And I said, you know what? I want to live a life where I'm able to snack and I'm able to eat a piece of pizza and not feel bad about it. So if the cause and effect is a scale or my body saying, oh, I'm feeling kind of puffy today, that's okay. It's a good kind of puffy. And today I'm going to have totally more snacks, and we're going out to dinner for our anniversary. Loving myself regardless of the size of it, the weight of it, the texture of it. Loving myself, loving these parts of me that before I would be like, oh, that's so unworthy. But notice how I got deep when you're just asking me how I feel. It's almost like when how's it going? Good. How about you? Good. No, I'm always like, I don't be like, well, but there's the superficial, and then there's the next step below, popping the hood. So we're here. It's just, there's a small group of us here today, and I like to show up real. I'd be lying if I said, and why would I lie to you? I wake up feeling bloated and crappy sometimes. I wake up with migraines. I wake up refreshed sometimes. I'm a human in a body that is filled with liquid. This is a crazy thing I always think of. If I'm not mistaken, and I might be, but the reason we have, and I grew up not near the ocean, but in a coastal state, and I love the ocean. I love the ocean. I went there as a kid. To this day, my husband grew up at the beach down in Delaware. We just have the ocean draws me to it. There's something about it that just calms my soul, and there's a connection there. And I think to myself, the fact that the tides, the tide going in, tide going out, tide going in, tide going out, those large, massive bodies of water are affected by the moon and the way the planet is moving. We as humans, we have tons of liquid in us. Why would we not be affected by the way that the moon is and the pressure and stuff like that? So treat yourself like a human, not a robot, not like a square cube of, replicated. You are a squishy, round, lovable thing. And if this little machine tells you you're one number one day and one number the other day, it's only telling you one number. That does not measure your awesomeness. Okay? I love it. Wendy Rose is digging this is how my brain goes. I talk in geographic references if I know them. Oops, hold on. I hit the wrong button. Remember that happened last time? And all of a sudden we were playing, somebody from India was trying to play video games with me, sorry, people. I was talking about breakfast stuff, but seriously, make yourself some pancakes. And seriously, people, if you have never had real, legit maple syrup, so freaking good. It's almost like, here's a fun thing. Talk about quantity and quality of stuff in your house. I would take a tablespoon of real maple syrup over a gallon of Aunt Jemima. I almost said Aunt Jemima because I'm from New England. I would take the small quantity of the thing that I freaking love over the large quantity of something that just made me go meh. Okay? Okay. Oh, S74 said you were really good at this, gentle and empathetic and fun. Ooh, I like that. I gotta have the fun in it. You guys, if it is not fun, if I was overly sincere and earnest here without a healthy dose of fun and stuff like that, I'd be like, this is too much. This is a little bit too, earnest for me. I am sincere like nobody's business, but I also like to have fun with it. Because when we're laughing, your brain and your soul open up like a sponge, and you're like, aha, and then you're more likely to get things. When you laugh, when you're nodding your head in connection, as opposed to somebody being super earnest and always sincere without anything else, I just need some humor. I like to have things fun. I mean, look at my house. I get fun all over the place. I like fun. Fun helps us get stuff done. All right? Carla, it says, let's go on the trip we choose, not the one someone else wants to go on. If they're in the car. Oh, 100%. Yeah, notice even that concept of a backseat driver is don't drive where you want to go to, drive where I want to go to. Don't do that, do this, says me for your life. You know, don't want to be a ballerina. You have to be a dental hygienist. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stay to the rivers and the streams that you're used to. I say go chase the waterfalls. You know, you only have one life. Do you want to be on? This is me. This is what I say to myself. Do I want to be laying on my deathbed, looking back at my life, kind of in the rearview mirror of my life, saying, shit, I should have done that. I should have, at that time in my life, in 2024, I should have said yes. I should have stepped out of my comfort zone, just did the scary thing because I was hoping it would lead to that life. You know, if I never said hi to my husband in the lobby of the El Rey Theater in Los Angeles, California, in the year 1998, I would not be speaking with you today. But I knew I had to step outside of my comfort zone and even just talk to strangers. As I said, I was a scaredy cat for a long time, and that kept me stuck and small. But when I stopped being stuck and small and I flew out to California to see some bands, and I met a friend out there, and then she's out there smoking because you couldn't smoke inside, and I'm standing there being like, all right, I got to start talking to people, or else I'm going to be talking to Wendy the whole time here, and we love each other. So then I saw some cute guy who was in a band who looked like he wouldn't make fun of me if I went up and said hi. I liked his band, and I said, hey, were you in that band? You guys were good. Today's our 22-year anniversary of being married, people. I can't make this shit up. I would not make this shit up. I would not lie to you. Would I lie to you? No, I would not lie to you, honey. Okay. Wendy Rose is saying, I had 2 back-to-back heart attacks. Ah, shit. 4 stents. Fear is a big factor now, and I used to be fearless. Okay. How about this, Wendy? You are a different person now. Fear, factor in the fear. What are you afraid of? And then move forward accordingly. Maybe you're moving at a different pace. Maybe you're becoming more aware of the physical things that you're being more in tune with your body. How's my heart feeling? Does this feel okay? This feels good. I'm going to keep on doing it. Nope, feels a little bit off. I'm going to kind of slow down. Pay more attention to yourself. Maybe you're cruising along at a nice slow pace. As my friends who go on boats sometimes, like little tiny boats, they talk about cruising at 4 knots. Now, I don't know, but to them, that's a nice cruising speed. I got to figure out, I will, 4 knots to like miles per hour when you're cruising. This feels good. I'm slowly puttering around. This feels good. Looking at the stuff. When you're going slow, you can absorb more details. You can savor things when you're not going so fast. Okay? So notice these things, and we're all working with the hand we were dealt. So what can you do with what you have? Do the best with what you have. Make the best life for you with what you're given. Kai is trying to get better at your eating habits. Yeah, so am I. But you know what? The cotton candy is, yeah, I love it. Kathy is saying the cotton candy is proof you finish what you start. Yeah, and if it's a snack, I will finish it. You know? I feel you. It's 8:30 a.m. and someone just told me I look 24. I'm 33. Love it. Appreciate my raw honesty. Oh, thank you. I don't know if it's raw, but this is how I live. This is how I speak. These are the conversations I enjoy having. I was thinking about this a lot recently because I'm taking this writing course to get better at my writing, much like kind of my speaking, is because I noticed, and it might be different now because I've done so many of these TikTok lives, but when I went to go create my website, I felt like I was writing in a way that I was told to by certain, this is how you make a website and this is how you can create an email. So I'm trying to get better at that. And one of the things I realized about myself, and I think about it like when I moved down the beach with my husband, is I was used to hanging around with people and we would talk about interesting things that you could really get kind of into the meat of something and have not a super deep conversation. Like my friend Jeannie, she is so brilliant and she likes to talk about Aristotle and, Plato and all that stuff. I am a little bit less like that. I'm more like the pop culture version of that. I don't like to stay on the surface. Hey, how's it going? Nice. How are you? Oh, look at my nails. Oh, look, I went to the club and this is how I look now. And look, it's all surfacey stuff. I'd rather be home reading a book with my nose in a book. I delight in popping the hood and seeing what's underneath and talking about it with people. A friend of ours, we went down to the carnival yesterday, a couple days ago with him, and then he followed up with me being like, you know what, we touched on something that I'd really like to discuss with you deeper. And I was like, oh my God, somebody wants to have an interesting conversation. I am so excited for that. So this is how I show up, because this is where the magic happens, is understanding what's going on, not just how your car looks, but popping it up and seeing what's going on under the hood. Now, I use the car metaphor all the time, because if your car is not working the way you want, and you're that's one thing. If you're not driving the want, that's whatever. But let's figure out why your car is not driving, why you're not driving your car in the direction that you want to go to. Okay? And Strong Silver Soul Sister is saying, I'm much more accepting of my aging body. I stressed so much over my body in my youth. Oh, honey, so did I. And so did my mother. I grew up in a diet, deserted gelatin, diet Pepsi, Tang. Oh, I could talk about it. But you know what? I think it's so much more powerful and so much more punk rock to love who you are, to wear comfortable shoes, to not be wicked skinny, because then you're more able to stand up to people. If you're hungry and fearful and distracted by trying to count calories, you're not changing the world. And I'm not asking anybody here to change the world except your own. But when you realize you can change your world, and you've changed it and you like it and you've got that power, you might want to change a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. What? Okay, now this is crazy. This happens to my clients. I can't make this up. T-Site is saying, Beth, I finally opened some mail. You're saying it, and found a check for $5,000. Oh, I'm cleaning all right. Okay? Think of your decluttering as a treasure hunt, people. T-Site and I don't even coach together, and look what happened. We talked together, and you got the confidence, the courage to open up your mail. I have mail fear sometimes. Oh my God, what is it? It looks official. And then I'm so freaking pissed off when it's junk mail. But I have clients that legit have found thousands of dollars in their house. Cash, checks, gift cards, found expensive jewelry that they have lost, found autographed pictures of the Beatles, found all sorts of things that are of value to them that would have stayed hidden had they not decluttered. Yeah, that one persona says, I found a check for $20 yesterday. That is awesome. When I was decluttering my stuff, I forgot that I had been, as my mother would say, kind of squirreling away, cash in a little like vintage like piggy bank. I had forgotten because it was cash money, and I opened it up and I'm like, oh, check me out. I forgot, Yeah, Carla Holiday is saying, Carla was saying, as we worked through my mom's laundry room, we found $2,000 in ones that my mom hid back there. Now, I say this to you because this is legit. I don't lie about stuff. Why would I lie? People are saying that when they declutter their homes, they are finding money and checks and diamond earrings and things like that. But the thing I want to share with you is, even if you don't find anything of that value, what you're going to find, what you're going to discover when you declutter is more about yourself. And when you learn more about yourself, then you know what you want in your life and what you don't. You will know more what your life looks like, what the life you want looks like, and you know more of what it doesn't. I don't want that. I want this. I don't want a beige, boring house married to a guy in finance who smokes stogies and plays golf. I want a funky house. I want to be dating and married to a musician, and we have madcap adventures, just like an episode of The Monkees. We have cool, artistic, fun friends. That's what I got. When I realized what I didn't want, it helped me to find what I did want. Okay? Yeah, let's get done with the stuff and enjoy our experiences. I got so excited. I love it. Yeah, I want to live. I want to live. I've got a lot of living to do. You got a lot of living to do. Now, the funny thing is we look around and we have stuff in our house. What's the level of stuff? I'll just share this with you because this has been, kind of a different, episode on a special episode of Destination Decluttered. But think about your clutter in 3 levels. I'm always talking about 3 is a magic number. Yes, it is. You've got too much, just right, and not enough. You've got I love it, I hate it, meh, okay? And in the middle. So think about it. Not enough stuff is lack. You don't have enough. You don't have something to sit on. You don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, as my family would say. We got a million of them, people. I am part of my own family. I know that. You don't have anything, so then you start saving stuff because you don't have enough, so you're getting it until whatever enough is for you. Now I got to sit up a little bit. Pardon me. I got to sit up a little bit. You've got not enough, you've got enough. Enough is that feeling right about here where your nervous system is. This is where my nervous system is, kind of behind my bubs, where my heart is. You've got just right. And then clutter is when you forgot that you kind of blew past the just right and you started getting more and more and more. Not how do you like it, how do you like it, Andrea True Connection, until you've got kind of too much. Clutter is the level, is the quantity of items in your home that you don't love, that is, the quantity is too much. Quantity, the number of things in your house that you don't love, that is getting in the way, that's too much between you and just right. That's what clutter is. The stuff you don't like that makes you feel like you're drowning, okay? And so notice the stuff you don't love. Notice the stuff you love. Notice the stuff that you don't. The stuff you don't love or the stuff that you're like, meh, maybe. Green light, red light, yellow light. Kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like it, kind of don't. The stuff you don't like, the red light and the yellow light at the traffic signal in your body. That's the clutter. So let's get that stuff. All we need to do, you guys, is get that stuff out of the way. Hone your life into what you want and not just how it looks. But I teach this from a decluttering perspective because it is a wonderful physical metaphor of you making decisions every day saying, what do I want? What do I want this room to look like? What do I want that room to look like? What do I want that tabletop to look like? What color do I want to paint these walls or pay somebody to paint them? What do I want my home to look like? And when you get better at just asking, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And listening for it and making it happen, you make that happen in other areas of your life. Okay? And that's where the magic happens. All of this does. Yeah, kind of like blowing the yellow light and keeping going on the red. Could be. Could be. All right, I'm going to back up a little bit, and I can't believe it's already 8:48. Let me see if I've missed anything. Yep, thank you, everybody, for the happy anniversary things. Yes, we've got our happy anniversary coming up. Ooh, I keep on hitting the wrong button. I'm sorry. My hands must be sticky. It's kind of gray out today. It was a gray day that we got married. We got married not on the beach, but down the beach in Delaware. The day before was beautiful and sunny, and then it was a freaking monsoon that came out. But we made it work, and here we are. All right, here we go. What do we have? Yeah, Strong Silver Soul Sister. I am such a conversationalist. I think that's why I prefer small groups over big parties. I'm the same way. I figured this amount of people that we're all here in a party, but it's kind of like a nice, it was an intimate conversation, but a nice civilized conversation. We got together with some friends in small groups. We have a big group of friends. I love our whole group, but I love it when I can pull off to the side and have a nice little conversation with everybody as opposed to, hey, this is fun, this is fun. I prefer smaller groups of people. So in smaller groups of people who I have something in common with, that I have something to talk about. Ever been there when you're talking to somebody and all of a sudden you run out of conversation and you're like, okay, what do we do now? Because we're on a different wavelength. My wavelength, oh, mama, my wavelength, Van Morrison, I think, is different than other people's, and that's okay, because maybe if you hung around on this TikTok live, maybe we're on the same wavelength. There are different people out there who all they want is a house to look like that magazine or look like that thing. That's fine with them. I will not try to convince them of something they don't want, but I'm there for the people who are like, I know that I want my home to be different than that. I want to go a level deeper. That's where I show up. I'm there being like, hey, I know we're here in the shallow end of the pool. Anybody want to swim out? Not necessarily immediately to the deep end. You want to swim out to, wade out to the medium side of the pool or even the ocean. Let's talk about the ocean, okay? Let's get out of this churning, the waves crashing of the thing. If you get out a little bit past the shallow stuff and past the waves and you quiet it down, you get past those waves, then, I don't know if you guys, hopefully all of you have been in the ocean, and if you haven't, get in the ocean before you pass away, because it is a wonderful experience. When you get past the waves that are crashing, you're kind of buoyant, and you're floating along. and the waves are over there, and you're just like, this is fun. I got out past all the chaos of the waves, and I'm kind of floating along. This is fun. Laying on your back, you know? And whoa, that was kind of fun. And you're having fun in it, okay? So I hope that happens to you. I don't want to just stay in the chaos of all the superficial stuff. I want to get one deeper. All right? Okay, this is good. Sky is saying, I find nothing but more junk I need to get rid of. Wonderful. That is so cool, because oftentimes people will find stuff that they're like, I don't know. That's the yellow. That's usually when I'm talking with my clients, when I'm working with my clients, I do the one-on-one coaching, is we talk about the stuff that's a little bit harder to determine whether you want, should I stay or should I go now, as the Clash would say. Should I keep it? Should I throw it away? I have a theory about this. I have a theory that you want to give it away, but you're afraid to. That you're afraid of what will happen. Afraid that I might need it. Afraid I might get in trouble. Afraid it might be worth something someday. So just think about that. The stuff that you're hemming and hawing over, there's fear behind that. So let's talk about it. You know, let's figure it out. There we go. Sometimes we find special things. Like I found a letter from my mom, and she passed 24 years ago. Yeah. Oh, yeah, somebody just remembered Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah. Schoolhouse Rocky. I know them all, people. I know them. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, Strong Silver Soul Sister. I love that you mentioned the Ramones, because our friend who passed away this year, she was a big Ramones fan. And we got one of her records here. Not the Ramones, it's an REM record, but she's in my heart all the time. So thank you for conjuring up Lindsay. Okay, interesting. That one persona is saying, the thing I've learned is that by trying to make everything special and save, nothing becomes special. Yeah, all or nothing. If everything is special, nothing is special. Notice the all or nothing kind of negates a lot of that. Okay, what do we have here? I've been in the ocean but never got past the crashing waves. I didn't know it got better further. Yeah, it does. Barbara, it does. You know? I love it. I call it jellyfish area, just floating along. I love it. Gen X Grammy. I have a lot of I have all my kids' schoolwork, and it's a lot. Here's the funny thing. I think about Gen Xers because I'm elder Gen X and I don't have kids. But my sisters are Gen X too because they're younger than me, and I see Gen X parents trying to undo some of the latchkey kid things that we had. Maybe your mother threw away all the stuff of yours, so you're saving it all for your kids. So you have a lot of it. Ask yourself why you're saving it. Are you saving it for you? Do you want it for the rest of your life? If you want it and you love it, keep it. No problem. I have a feeling, though, you say when it's a lot, that means it's gone from the just right to the too much. Are you saving it for them? Because you didn't get it saved when you were a kid. Your mother threw it away. If you're saving it for your kids, go through it. No matter how old they are right now, get your kids involved with their stuff before it turns into clutter. Show your kids. Learn from me so then you can teach your children well. You can teach them what you're learning about what to hang on to, if anything, and what to let go of. Everything. There we go. Yeah, Wendy Rose is saying, I used to save things for the kids. Now they take it or I get rid of it. Yeah, that's me, the fear. I always think I'm going to need it someday, or the money is, yeah, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of that I wasted money. You already know you wasted money when you bought something and you're not using it. It makes it official when then you donate it. But you've already spent the money. You don't get it back by hanging it onto it. Hanging on to the stuff that is not working out for you does not make your money come back to you. Okay? Okay, yeah, Anastasia is saying, why are you saving this stuff? Because you ostensibly are saving it for them, but you're really saving it for you. So get curious. Why am I saving this for me? Why did I decide to save this? Like, I wish my mom had kept more of our stuff. I do. She used to say, oh, yeah, all your toys are up in the attic. No, she threw them away. She donated them because she didn't know how to deal with clutter. And so that's why I am digging out her house with her and my dad's stuff, because I grew up with cluttery people that saved a wicked lot of stuff. I don't judge them for it, though. I have gotten past that because I've coached myself and I understand the bigger picture about clutter. So I have great love and compassion for everybody who is struggling with clutter, including hoarders. Now, I don't work with hoarders because I am not a trained mental health person, but I have empathy and sympathy and understanding, and I can relate because we've been told that stuff can keep us safe. And physically, sometimes when you barricade yourself, you create a buffer between you and the world, and it can be trauma activating you to release anything. I get that. I get that. All right. Oops. All right, we get 5 minutes. What do we have here? I can back up a little bit. Yep. Okay, here we go. The kids say to me, why we're saving this. Okay. Allison is saying what I did with my son's artwork, and I love this, you guys. I love the collaboration and the interplay. We are like a community here, and we're all helping one another. You know what I did? Maybe this will help you. What worked for me is what I did with my son's homework. I picked out my absolute favorites and got rid of the rest. Yeah, yeah. Cat Mama says, yeah, my mom threw a lot of stuff out. The kids say they don't want it. That's good. That is good. Trust your kids when they say they don't want something. Because what you're doing is you are listening to them and acting accordingly. You are also letting them know it is safe to say, no, I don't want it. And also you're breaking the chain of guilt. You're not guilting them into it. You don't like to be guilted into stuff. Do not be a guilter. Don't play that game. Break the chain. I know there's a song about breaking the chains. Now I get Erasure, maybe. But seriously, don't guilt people into it. Oh, come on, but you loved that doll. You played with that all the time. Oh, come on, but your grandmother gave you that. You should like it. Don't be that person. You don't like to be guilted into stuff you don't want to do. Respect your kids and trust them, and that allows them to have confidence in their decisions, that what they decide, that they're listened to, and that's a good way to be. To have confidence in what I say can help me get the word I want. Yeah, take pictures of the stuff you get rid of, then you will eventually clean the phone out. Or you're not. Or you can leave it all on your phone. It's totally up to you. Yeah, and I love that notion. I love using the technology that we have right now to help us get rid of the physical stuff. And yes, taking pictures, taking digital photos of the stuff is so freaking helpful. And I totally deal with my digital clutter different than my physical clutter. So I don't care if I have tons of digital clutter because I'm able to find things in different ways. But part of the physical clutter is not being able to easily find stuff. So think about that. Could taking a picture of your kid in that outfit or that piece of artwork they did, or even right now, I have something that I brought back from my parents' house. I think I might hang it in my house. I think I might not, but I'm going to take a picture of it, because in case I unframe it and it disintegrates, at least I'll have the picture. Okay? Okay, interesting. Sky is saying, I saved my son's toys and now his kids play with them, but I'm sorry I did because I passed the saving mentality. There's nothing wrong with saving. Let me reiterate that. This is not about getting rid of everything. It's about saving things and saving the right quantity and quality for you. So instead of saving or not saving, I want you to think of quality and quantity. What are the quantity of toys that will easily make it, that fill a tote? I'm going to keep a tote's worth of this and nothing more. So if it fits in the tote and it works well and my kid had fun with it and it's in good condition, it's a toy that can be saved for the next generation. And I'm going to take that tote and I'm going to put it around and I'm going to label it so I know it's in there. I'm going to put it in the corner of the basement till they have kids. And then when they have kids, it might be fun to dig those things out. I remember once, honestly, getting a doll. It was this giant doll for whatever reason. I should ask my Aunt Rita about this. This giant plastic doll. It was like 4 feet tall. And it was, I think, my Aunt Rita's. And being like, oh, this is really cool. This old thing from like, I thought it was like hundreds of years old. It's so funny because my Aunt Rita is only 15 years older than me. And, but when you're a little kid, you think, oh my God, did you grow up in the 1700s? It's like, no, she was born in 1950 something. It's kind of funny. Yes, exactly. Erasure and Fleetwood Mac. Right here, people. My brain went the same way. But Fleetwood Mac said never break the chain. And I'm telling you to break the chain. All right. I have 1 tote per kid. For years, I put stuff I want to have them. It will be a gift to them someday. Yeah. Add caption portion of the photos. Good idea. I love it. And keeping the quantity of stuff you're saving for yourself or other people to a manageable amount. And you can do that. Yeah, I had 2 trunks of pictures that got in the hurricane, and I was almost happy when it was gone. Yeah, because when you save stuff, you are responsible for it. Now, speaking of responsible, not that it's responsible, but I'm responsible because I honor your time and I honor my time. So I could hang out with you guys all day. You're my people. I genuinely enjoy having these back and forths and these conversations, getting under the hood and talking more about the why of clutter and the how of clutter. We can totally get, I mean, the cool thing is I am not a very good swimmer in real life, but man, can I hang out in the shallow, medium, and deep end like nobody's business of clutter and other stuff. So I am here with you in all of those areas. But I also want to respect your time. It's 9 a.m. Eastern time right now, in case anybody hasn't looked, but I noticed it and I heard the door open there. Beth, Destination Decluttered. Now, I'm going to go have a kick-ass day. I am. This is one of my many skills, is I can plan a kick-ass day and make it happen. I used to not be able to say that, but now I do, so I do it all the time, and I freaking love it. I want the same for you. So go plan yourself a day filled with stuff you want to do. Make the stuff you have to do as pleasant as possible. But by the end of today, instead of thinking, even just think today, instead of being on your deathbed looking back on your life saying, how do I feel about this? How about tonight when you go to bed? Not your deathbed. Look back on your day and say, did I have a good day? And if you didn't, get curious about it. And then tomorrow wake up and plan your day and change that thing that didn't work. Okay? I'm going to run. Thank you for all the anniversary wishes. My husband just got up. I have to sign his card before he gets out of the bathroom. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Now, I will probably be puffy tomorrow because we got plans for today. But you know what? It has nothing to do with the surface. It's all about what's inside, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. I get a 9 a.m. TikTok Live on Sunday morning. If you want to show up, same bat time, same bat channel. Beth, Destination Decluttered. I'm here for you, all right?